So that's one of our goals with OSE is trying to figure out like how can we collaborate more with different departments? How can we help other people try to provide those different online resources for students kind of thing. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for episode 2 of the Online Student Experience podcast. My name is Dallas Wellington. I'm the coordinator for the Online Student Experience, and I'll go ahead and give our guest a chance to introduce herself.
My name is Katie Hermes, and I am the director of the First Generation Success Center.
Thank you so much. So in episode 2, we're going to be focusing on the First Generation Center here at UNT, what sort of resources they offer and how they can assist students. So we'll go ahead and get into the first question, which is what inspired you to work with First Generation students and how did your own background influence that decision?
So I have worked at UNT for almost 17 years, which is crazy. And I have worked in different capacities. I've been in different offices. I was in financial aid for about 5 years. I did academic advising for about 9 years. And through academic advising, I got to really get to know a whole bunch of different students over the whole course of their student lifespan. So from freshman orientation through graduation. Mm-hmm. And I was particularly inspired and happy to learn from our first generation students in the College of Education. And it was a population that I got to learn a lot more about, and I got to talk to students on a personal level about some of the challenges that they were facing, how much graduation meant to them and their families. Mm-hmm. And I am not a first generation student. My dad went to college. And so it was something that I wasn't aware of. And mm-hmm. once I became aware of it, I was just really interested in how can I help and how can I become an advocate. I was already working in higher education for about 14 years at that point, but how can I continue to advocate and use everything I had learned up until that point to advocate and continue to amplify the voices of this particular population. So when the Student Affairs put out the job for the coordinator for First Generation Success Center, I said, heck yes, I get to be creative. I don't know if you can tell, but I love a little bit of creativity. I'm a very let's try something new. Let's put an idea out there and see if it works kind of person. I really loved advising, but I didn't get to exercise that creative part of my personality. Mm-hmm. So I got to advocate for a population that I was passionate about, and I got to be creative with social media. I got to be creative with event planning and meeting students in a more holistic manner. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just what classes do I need to take, how do I do student teaching, it was all sorts of stuff. And mm-hmm. I love that. I love not knowing what students are going to come in for their coaching appointments for and getting to be that person that just gets to help. You know, mm-hmm. sometimes with first gen, but really anyone, you just don't know what you don't know. Yep. And you just need someone to say, I got you. This is what we're going to do, right? This is what I think might help. And so for first gen, they have someone at home that is rooting for them. Mm-hmm. They have someone that is like, you got this. We love you. Go for it. But maybe they don't have that lived experience of this is how you change your major, or this is how you talk to the professor, or this is how you go for an internship, right? Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it could be frustrating not to know which of the many resources you need at that exact moment, right? And so I love getting to be the person that the student's like, hey, this, and I go, this, and they go, this, and we all go, awesome, it's just a fun place to be. So I really love working with first generation students. It's always something different. It's always a creative vibe. The team is awesome. Mm-hmm. The office is awesome. So Union 376, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, come see us. So yeah, that's a really long answer.
Oh, no, that's totally fine. That's honestly one of the great things about working in higher education is whenever people think about, college, university life, they usually think of straight academics. I'm just here to get my degree. I don't need anything else. But the support side is what really gets students going through that. I'm a first generation student, and I was very fortunate, going into my college experience that I knew what it was. Mm-hmm. Because at my university, I was fortunate enough to be a part of a scholarship program for first generation students, mm-hmm. Kind of similar to
Trio?
Yes, similar to Trio, but with their program, it was something completely new. It was providing full scholarships for first generation students. And so whenever I heard about it, I had to like, I researched into it. I was like, what is a first generation student? Like, do I even count?
Yeah.
Because at the time, my older sister was in the process of getting her degree. So I was like, do I count?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, because you're neither of your parents went to college and you're kind of getting into this blind eye, not knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, and even like generationally, my dad went to school in Ohio in the 60s. So, I mean, that's a little different than the 2000s in Texas, you know? So, like, I'm not first gen, but like his experience was very different than my experience. And I am lucky I had siblings that went to school ahead of me, but they went to a very different university in another part of the state. And even their experience was very different. So I think you're right. I think higher education, there's so many people who, especially at UNT, go Mean Green, but there's so many people who want to help you, you know? And I think the great part about the First Gen Center truly is that our motto is always the more, the merrier. And what we tell students all the time is if it's easier to bring someone with you to an event that is not first gen, bring them. If you're not first gen, but you see something on our Instagram that is amazing, a cool program that you just can't wait to come to, come out. We're not going to stop you. There's no paperwork.
Exactly.
There's no like, you can't come because you're not, or here's the strict definition of, do you check off these boxes, submit your proof, prove it, you know? We're a student service that all students can access. Of course, we're driven to first gen, but we are open to everyone. There is no formally joining the First Gen Center. You can just stop by. You can just come out to our events. We're open to everyone. I love that part. Yeah, because it's just like the door's open, you know? And I know I like to bring a buddy when I go out to do stuff. It's hard to go places by
Emotional
yourself.
support friend.
Yeah, your emotional support friend. Absolutely. It's hard to like go by yourself. So like bring your friends. Come on in. Classmate, stranger, person you met on the bus an hour ago. I don't know. Like bring them by, you know?
I am that person. I'll be like, I just met you, but do you want to go to this
Hey,
thing?
there's this thing going on. Do you want to come? Like, yeah, I do that too, Sam.
But OSE has a similar thing going on where people see the word online. They're like, oh, shoot, I can't go because it's just for like online students. But that's sort of something we're working on this upcoming year is like fixing that narrative of it's not, even though it says online student experience, it's more focused on the student experience part. It just happens to be online.
Yeah.
So there's like plenty of students out there who are like, I'm completely in person, like I live on campus, like I can't do these things.
But talk about missed connections.
Exactly.
What if like your future best friend is taking online classes and you take in-person classes, but you meet through an OSE activity and you're like, I'm super into this niche hobby. And you're like, oh my God, I'm super into this niche hobby. And you wouldn't have met if you hadn't gone to that OSE event, right?
Exactly.
Like online students don't want to just be friends with online students. Like that's weird, right? That's a crazy thing to think.
A friend's a friend.
A friend is a friend. Who cares where you take your classes? So I think it's awesome that you're including everybody. That's great.
We try.
Like no big deal, but they're doing great things at OSE. So
We try.
yeah.
All right. We always get so off topic, but that's okay.
Yeah.
This is actually moving into our second question.
Okay.
So UNT has a variety of resources for first generation students. Can you walk us through some of those key resources and how students can access them?
Yeah. So going back to my background in academic advising, I think the key resource for first gen students, honestly, your academic advisor. Like shout out to those advisors. They are working hard. Okay. It is a hard job for them, but they love it and they're there to help you. So really making that connection and not just going when you need to figure out your schedule, but making a follow-up appointment and really talking through the whole picture, right? Like I think sometimes for first gen, but honestly, I mean, everybody, right? What is the whole picture of this journey that I am embarking on? Like, okay, I went through freshman orientation, I registered and I'm here. But like, you also need to be thinking of next semester. And then what should I be doing now to get me ready for sophomore year? And what can I be doing now to get me ready for, and then are there certain exams? And it's not meant to be like a big old list that you stress about.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be like overwhelming. It's meant to empower you, that you understand what's coming up so that you can prepare a little bit along the way so that you don't get to that point junior year where you go, I need an internship. What? I don't even have a resume. If you know freshman year, I'm going to need an internship my junior year. Freshman year, you build a resume. Maybe there's not a lot on it. You know, that's okay. But you have it. And then slowly you build on it. You take those opportunities along the way to grow it, right? You take those little micro internships that slowly add up. You get out of your comfort zone to volunteer for an organization. And I think the academic advisors can do a really good job of breaking down your specific major and what to expect for you. Because friends mean well, right? Roommates mean well. I think people are I think people are good. I think people are genuinely good, right? But we're all in different programs. We're all in different majors. And when I was advising, I would see people say, well, my roommate said that we don't have to do this. And I'd say, okay, what's your roommate's major? And they'd say, computer engineering. I was like, that's cool, but you're going to be a teacher.
Yep.
You have to do student teaching. They don't have to do student teaching, but you have to do student teaching. And it was this like, oh my God moment of like shock. And it's like, I wish we had gotten to spend some time together before this, but like they can't make you come in after your freshman year. They can't make you come in. So I would say academic advising. Long answer, short answer. More than just classes. I guess that doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Advisors are more than just picking classes, like really like, and you're not bothering them. That's what I would say too. I'd have people come in all the time and say, I'm sorry to bother you. I just don't quite understand the timeline or how many classes I need to take if I want to graduate this time or at this time. And we'd come up with like a plan A, a plan B to like graduate early, graduate on time, go a little slower, whatever you needed to do, right? And the goal was always, again, to empower. Because if you understand what you're doing, you can stay motivated. And you understand why you're taking this really rough calculus class right now, because it sets you up to take the next one.
Yep.
And when you've got mom or grandma or whoever's at home going, when are you going to graduate?
Yep.
Or you've got your classmate that's like, hey, have you taken this? Or when are you taking that? Or what do you think about this? You can be like, oh, actually... okay, so I did take that one because they all start to sound the same, right? Depending on your majors, sometimes the numbers start to blur. And then I'm going to do this class next semester. And grandma, look, I know it feels like I've been here forever, but I have this many more classes that I need to do. And then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I have an internship. So it's going to take me an extra, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're empowered, you understand, you see the roadmap, and then you can explain it to other people. And then everybody's like, your support team is empowered to support you. And there's less tension between like you and the family of like, I don't know what's going on. Like we all know what's going on,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the advisors like are more than classes, and I'm just promoting them because I know they work hard. Okay. Quick answer for the rest of them. Career Center, obviously. Shout out to Career Center.
Yes.
They have a lot of resources beyond just resumes.
Yep.
Obviously, they can help with internships. They can help with career communities. They can help with networking.
Oh yeah.
They have booths kind of like this where you can go and do interviews. If you get like an interview and you're like, my roommates are loud constantly.
Yep.
You can reserve an interview space. By the way, I love your overalls.
I tried.
You're styling today.
I try to be casual.
I didn't get the memo. I'm business lady today.
It's okay.
Access Peer Mentoring. Shout out. That's a great resource. Anybody can get paired with a peer in your major usually. Sometimes it's in your college, but it's usually in your major. And it's someone that's about your same age that you can talk to and get peer-to-peer support. And you don't have to go out and like find a mentor like, hey, will you be my buddy?
Yeah.
Or, hey, like you're a year ahead of me. Can you tell me how our major works? They'll match you.
Yep.
And it's awesome. And they have like prizes. They have like different events and things. I love peer mentoring. The Eagle Engagement Center. That's a really good one. That used to be Center for Belonging and Engagement. They have a lot of cool events coming up this year. Should check them out. They have a really cool space in the union as well. But yeah, there's so many places. That could be a whole episode.
Oh, trust me. That's why we have a whole season.
Yeah. You're like, we're bringing them in slowly.
Oh, don't worry. Slowly.
But again, like sometimes I always joke at orientations that like resources is the buzzword, right?
Yes.
And you hear it, everybody says it so much.
Yes.
But it's true. There are so many. And again, it's frustrating when you know that there's probably something there that can help me. But like I'm so overwhelmed right now. I don't know. And so I'm just not going to go look for it. And we love in first gen, we love being the person that's like, look, seriously, it's okay. I really think in this exact moment, this is the resource. That's best going to help you get through this time. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the, I know with, especially with being an online student, someone who takes predominantly online classes, is they have all the resources and it can get very overwhelming very fast. And so that's one of the good things about like coaching or mentoring is
Yeah.
like you have someone to go to be like, I don't know what I need.
Yeah.
Can you give me any sort of advice or help with that?
Well, and y'all have a Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's nice too.
Yes.
Sometimes it's nice just to go in and be like, guys, what? And have other people be like, yeah, I don't know. What? And then you can kind of figure it out, right?
And it's so nice, especially as some, I mean, I literally just graduated my master's a year ago. It's so comforting going into a class or like going onto a Discord being like, y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's so nice when someone's like, I don't know what I'm doing either. Yay!
Yay!
We can do this together.
We'll figure it out. Figure it out. You know, two minds are better than one. We can do this.
Oh yeah, because like whether or not someone is first gen, you can go into college and be like, I don't know what I don't know. And sometimes people go into college and they think they know what they're supposed to know. That's that expectation of you're going to college, you know what you're supposed to be doing. No.
I think there's so much emphasis, especially, I don't know. I just feel like there's so much emphasis on like filling out the application and doing your FAFSA or your TASFA and going on the tour and going to orientation and going to all this stuff. And then once you actually get into it, you're like, now what? Right? Like,
Yep.
And then when you get to those like junior, senior years, it's like, okay, but like I'm about to graduate. Now what? Right. And so what we're trying to do, plug, is in March, we do every year, we do a first gen career week. And so we have a whole week of events that the First Gen Center plans to help students think about life after college. So we're trying to help you think about now what, but in a fun and like low pressure, like we're not here to like force your hand. We're not making big decisions for you. We're just presenting options, right?
Yep.
So we'll bring in the grad school or representatives from the different areas to talk about this is what grad school is. If you're interested in, maybe start thinking about this. This is what you can look at. This is what they're going to be looking for on applications, that kind of stuff. We talk about like networking. What is it? We give you an opportunity to practice it in like a really low pressure scenario, you know? I always say networking is like playing an instrument. Nobody's good at it the first time they do it. First time somebody plays a trombone, it's going to sound not great, right? And it's like awkward and clumsy. And then the second time you do it, you're like, oh, okay, right? And you start to get better at it. The more you do it, the more natural it gets. But you gotta get through that first one, right? So we do networking events. We do like goal setting. Like, what do you want to do?
Yep.
You have the degree, but like, what else do you want to do with your life post grad? We do like, we're working with money management for like financial planning. Do you have a goal of paying off loans in a certain time? Do you want to buy a house kind of thing? But also just like self-care, because, you know, we're talking about career week, which is usually tied to graduation and thinking about life after. It's a really happy time. It can also be a lot of emotions.
Yes.
It can be overwhelming because it's concluding something that you worked really, really hard for. And there's expectations that aren't always met. Sometimes, you know, you or your family, I don't know, you might think, okay, you're going to graduate and get this $100,000 job right off the bat. I mean, if you do, awesome. That's amazing. We would love any and all donations to the First Generation Success Center. You can make that on our website.
So my email is.
Remember us. You can contact us. But a lot of us don't do that, right? Like that doesn't happen. And so it can be really, in finding a job, like it can be tough. So we have the Health and Wellness Center and Counseling and Testing come and do sessions about like just taking care of yourself during that time. So yeah.
There's a million resources out there.
Yeah.
It just definitely recommend just taking time and kind of going through things to see what you have.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story, is just take a look.
Take a look. And if you don't know, that's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got you.
Going to the next question. So how does the First Generation Center support online or distant learning students who may not be able to like physically come on campus all the time?
Yeah. So we do try and have some of our events online. We try and do some Zoom events especially with some of our professional outreach partners that we have. We'll try and do some sessions that you can join us online. If we can record it, we will record it and put it on our link tree so that you can watch it at a time that's more convenient to you. We also offer one-on-one coaching appointments with our professional staff and our graduate assistants. If you just want to talk to somebody from our office, we offer that Monday through Friday online. And then, of course, we provide referrals to all of the different offices on campus that you can also connect with online too. Yeah.
It's sorry. I know, especially since the pandemic happened, the forbidden word, the pandemic. I think that was sort of like a push for people to realize, oh, we need to start providing more like synchronous or asynchronous options for students who may not be able to like physically be here. So I joked, not really joked, scratch that part. I don't want to say joke about COVID.
Yeah, back that up.
Scratch that. I remember doing last season of the OSE podcast, I kind of talked about WSO from the Student Activity Center, how it kind of forced us to like think about higher education from an online perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so with the pandemic, it really kind of like made us take a step back and think, okay, what can we do? Like whether it's like asynchronous, meaning, you know, it's something that we can record, put later or whatever, or synchronous, meaning it's happening in the moment, but offering it at different times for students who may be working an 8 to 5 job and can only do evening events. And so that's one of our goals with OSE, is trying to figure out like how can we collaborate more with different departments? How can we help you know, other people try to provide those different online resources for students, kind of thing.
Well, and also, you know, we have started having more and more of our events and workshops and stuff 7 o'clock in the evening online. And we're getting really high engagement from that, especially from student parents, because what we've received some feedback on is it's after the workday, it's after dinner, but it's before bedtime.
Yep.
So if we can do 7 to 8, then they can, you know, lock in, they can come and meet with us, they can learn about whatever we're presenting that day, connect with other students, and then they can peace out, put the kids to bed, and get on with the night. And we're happy to provide that when we can, you know. We just did a partnership with Collin County Business Alliance on professional mentoring, and they were asking us to help basically recruit students for this mentorship program. And what struck me is that they were offering to connect students with professional mentors in the Metroplex for online mentorship. And I went, well, if it's an online mentorship, then we're going to have the information meeting online, and we're going to do it at a time when students can make it, right? Yep. And we had like 80 students show up at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday in June to learn about it. And I was like, this shows that this is what people want. And I'm happy to provide that if we can, you know? So yeah, we're trying to definitely get more on board with the online stuff. We can do it. We just have to connect with our partners that are like presenting and things like that. Yeah. But we're happy to try that. And so if more people come out to those types of events, come out virtually to those types of events, you know, you gotta show up. You gotta show up. But I mean, we can definitely continue to do that for sure. And there's so many interesting technologies too that I think we need to explore, and you guys are doing such a good job with OSE. Shout out. I'm always inspired by y'all's Instagram and by some of the events that you're doing. It's like, we can do this, you know?
I think with the pandemic, whenever I first got into this role, it was honestly some of the activities and things I saw during the pandemic that kind of inspired this.
Absolutely.
Because like for some of the activities, I'm thinking, oh, how can we do like some of the events we've been doing in person and just make it a virtual option? Like literally recently, well, by the time we post this, it's not going to be recently. But this summer we held a virtual paint and chill thing. It was completely online. We just had students, if they wanted to do like a coloring page, they could do that. If they wanted to use
puzzle night, right?
Puzzle night was fun.
Grad cap decorating you guys did.
Everything that we've seen people do in person, we're trying to find a way and use different platforms and try to make it accessible for online students to use. So
we love it. UNT loves their online students, and we want to make sure that they're included as well. And I think, you know, there is a growing trend nationwide of the universities, like you said, picking up the technology that we learned during the 2019, 2022 time period and making it more standard across the board. But I do appreciate that. I feel like all offices have a virtual option
Yes.
for the one-on-one. But what you guys are doing is the community. And I really, really appreciate that. So thank you guys. Thank you to OSE. Yeah, big deal.
All right, so we'll go to the next question. Can you share how UNT's culture has evolved in recent years when it comes to first generation awareness and support?
Yeah, absolutely. So the First Generation Success Center was founded in 2021. And I think having a dedicated first gen center is the first big step in UNT being a leader and providing those services for first generation. It becomes a constant presence in the union where students can come and get that support. So I just think the general awareness of first generation students and us being a physical presence at orientations and coming out to provide trainings for different academic departments, it's just getting more visibility. We have National First Gen. Did you know there's National First Generation College Student Day every year on November 8th?
November 8th.
It is a national holiday every year. We celebrate it every year. And you know what? UNT goes big. First Gen loves a party. So we do a whole week. So instead of just November 8th, which is a Saturday this year, so we're scooting it up in the week because it's a Saturday. We do a whole week of events. So we'll put like big letters out in the library mall, celebrate First Gen. We'll do graduation photos for a number of our students and we'll post those online. Obviously, we have our First Gen graduation stoles. Those are a big part of graduation for a lot of our students. They recognize first generation students at graduation now. They make an announcement and first gen students get to rise and be recognized. And I just think that visibility and our advocacy for those students, I think also the academic affairs side, also seeking out training on how to better serve first gen students, advocate for first gen students. I just think nationwide too, there's just been more visibility. And I think that's had an impact on how students see their own first gen identity. I've been at UNT a long time, 17 years, which I don't say at orientation because then the freshmen tell me that's how old they are. And that hurts my feelings just a little bit. So I've stopped saying how long I've been here, but like I wasn't alive then. And I go, okay, I don't know how to take that. That's cool. It's been here a long time. I love it. I love UNT. But yeah, since I've been here, I've seen a bigger trend in just, we know what first generation is. It's a more common identity that we understand. But also I think students are becoming more proud of it and more comfortable disclosing it to peers. Because they know that UNT, maybe they've heard us say that UNT is about 45% first generation. So it's almost half of us, right? And then I think also disclosing to future employees, it's becoming more of an asset that you're first gen because you have these qualities and you have this perseverance and you have this drive to accomplish something so life-changing. Of course you want to tell an employee about it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So yeah, I think there has been a huge shift in how first gen has been seen on campus at UNT, but also just nationwide, truly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
We're really lucky we have a first gen center. We were one of the first in Texas, so.
Oh, yes. Whenever I came to UNT as a grad student, I saw that y'all had a first gen center. I was like, yes. Thank goodness, because this is where I thrive.
Exactly, yeah.
But that kind of reminds me of back whenever I was an undergrad. I say four score and 7 years ago. It was literally in 2017 when I got to college. And I was very active with our First Generation Center. And the director of our First Gen Center, shout out to Miss Camia MSU, she said that first generation students have something that not everyone has, and she used the word grit to kind of encompass what that was. We have a grit to get through college, to want to prove ourselves and show that, even if we don't necessarily have the same support as someone whose both parents or one of their parents went to college, that we still have the perseverance and the grit to get through it. And that has stuck with me all these years later.
Well, and I think it's generationally, I think it's important. The graduation stoles, you have to fill out a form. If you're graduating in December, you fill out the form in October. If you're graduating in May, you fill it out in January, February. But when you go to graduation, like let's say you're at graduation, you see people walking by that have the stole that says first gen, and you're in middle school, and you see that and you go, huh, what is first gen? And maybe you find out early what that is. And you go, I'm first gen. And they did it. Look at all these people that did it, right? Or your cousin graduates and they're wearing it, or your sister, whoever, right? And you see it. It's not just clothes. It's not just regalia. It's not just like something someone's wearing. It's they did it. I can do it. That representation, right? And then you see the pictures online of people wearing it, and it's just it didn't just happen. Like they worked for it, but I can work for it. Yep. You know, I can do it too. And like you said, that grit of like, it's not just that drive is so, you're right. It is something different. Yeah. And a lot of times, like we talk to students about like, we know you want to do this, but like you have to be able to ask for help because sometimes we all need help. Yeah. First gen or not first gen, we all need help. Yes. And so it's okay to not know, but you have to be able to get comfortable being uncomfortable and asking. Yeah. And if it's easier to talk to us in the First Gen Center and we'll tell you how to, or coach you how to have that conversation, please. Because it doesn't just happen. You know, you do have to work for it, and you work for it.
Last question, which is, what advice would you give to incoming First Gen students who may be feeling uncertain or overwhelmed as they begin their college experience?
Freshman year is awesome. It is hard, but it is awesome. It's not what you see on TV or on TikTok. It is not all snap your fingers, get ready to go, and then you come back and the day was over and it was great. Like it's a lot of like sitting in class and like doing the darn thing. You have to go to class and take notes and study and take the test and try again and learn about yourself in a lot of different ways. And if you're feeling unsure, I would just say that you applied and you got in for a reason. You are meant to be here. If you feel uncertain about your major, it's a great time to ask questions about other majors. There's usually like major exploration or major like academic major fairs that you can go to in the fall semester. You can go to you can, even if it's not on your Navigate, to like make an appointment. Like let's say I'm engineering and I want to look into like CVAD for visual arts. If it's not on my Navigate and it's like, oh, I can't make an appointment with CVAD, you can call them and make an appointment with CVAD. Yep. And you can say, hey, I'm engineering, but I got a secret. I'm kind of interested and I'm being an art teacher. What would that look like? How does that apply? Like how does that work with my classes? They'll talk to you. You're not bothering anybody. Get the information. It's okay to ask questions, but you want to do it early so that you have, you know, the best chances of using your credit and not taking classes you don't need. But my best advice is just have the confidence that you're here for a reason. It's okay to not know everything. I don't know everything.
I definitely don't know everything.
It's okay. And you're not alone. And we're here for you. First Gen is here for you. OSE is here for you. So find your people. Find the community that you feel like you can thrive with. If that's the First Gen Center, we would love to have you. Come out to our events. If that's OSE, log into that Discord, come out to the events. There's 400 different student activities. I know Zoe probably with student activities talked about that. There's 400 student organizations. So those aren't like an office that put those orgs together. Those are students that said, hey, I'm passionate about this and I want to have a club for it. You will find others that have the same interests as you, and that can make a huge difference. Yep. So you're not alone, but you do have to put yourself out there. And it's easier to do that with people that you identify with. Yep. So, but yeah, you got this, and we're here for you.
So tell the people where they can find out more about First Gen.
We are very active on Instagram. We are UNT First Gen. We have a link tree as well. If you are more comfortable on Linktree, we have one of those. It's UNT First Gen as well. We have a website, so firstgen.unt.edu. You see a theme here? Yeah. But we are located in the Union, Union 376, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. UNT.edu. We have a lot of really fun events coming up for the fall semester. We've got First Gen Experience for freshmen coming up. We have First Flight Week coming up. We have an open house, and we're going to do a cool little art activity for that. But I would definitely say Instagram, UNT First Gen. That's the best way to stay in touch.
Of course. Well, thank you again so much for coming here and telling the people more about First Gen. I know it's definitely going to be helpful. I know a lot of online students identify as First Gen.
For sure.
So it's nice being able to, like, letting them know that they have their community.
Yeah.
But that's it for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Going green.
Going green.